Welcome everyone. Welcome to the 6th screening of organizing screening at Tribeca Film Society. Today we watched Aamis. It's a 2019 Assamese-language film by Bhaskar Hazarika. Aamis was first premiered at Tribeca Film Festival, where it was nominated for 5 categories, including the best film. And it has traveled quite a few film festivals from there on. And I myself watched it for the first time in Mami. And Bhaskar, who has directed and written the film, this is his second feature film. The first one, Kothandi, was again premiered at Busan Film Festival and then also bagged a National Film Award. So really happy and we are very proud to have you over here, Bhaskar. Thank you so much for allowing us and welcome over here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Telling you, I have about 20 minutes because I have to rush somewhere.
Yeah. We have informed everybody. We're gonna quickly rush this thing. This whole thing was organized by Herschel. So I'm gonna quickly take over to Herschel, and he's gonna start with the first question, and then all the audience member who just watched the movie, they can go with the question. Over to you, Herschel.
Hi Bhaskar. Herschel Khaperde this side, and like I watched this film for the second time. And I don't know, like जो after taste first film के बाद था, वो after taste अभी भी है, वो स्वाद मुंह में. Okay, I don't know if I should say स्वाद, but वो स्वाद मुंह में अभी भी है. So yeah, my question for you would be, like how the idea originated, and वो तो चलो वो तो side है, but how did you like manage to create empathy for like character like these, like they are unusual of some sorts. So
well, I think that's a very nice question that you put forward. I would say that the process of empathizing with these people, I'm not saying that you should sympathize with them, but definitely it helps to empathize with them if they look and behave and talk like us. So normally you would expect people who are into these kind of kings to be all persons tattooed and with very dysfunctional attitudes towards society. But here we have a very well-adjusted doctor, a PhD student, people just like us. And I thought that would make it much more creepy, and also it will help you to empathize with their actions.
And I absolutely loved the idea that you treated this film like a love story. वो जो cannibalism है वो सिर्फ shock value के लिए है ही नहीं, वो love story का एक हिस्सा है. I fell in love with that. So yeah, like on to the attendees.
I should also tell you guys that I have a very personal relationship with Raipur. I was in Rajkumar College for 10 years. So my dad was in Raipur. So I was very excited to hear that you guys are screening this film there. I practically grew up in that town. Jestham's stop was my place to be.
Oh my God, that's nice.
Something new, yeah.
We are from DPS. It's a RKC DPS thing.
Which batch did you pass out?
I was in Raipur from 1984, 82 to 1992.
92.
Class 1 to class 10.
We were born 2 years after that. So, yeah, you saw.
I've seen the Raipur you guys have.
Yeah, from a different time. Great. All right.
The biggest attraction back then was Nandan One. Or you go to Bhilai to see the tree plant. That's it.
Oh yeah. Okay, we have the next question.
Right. You're muted at the moment.
Yeah. So my question was that so where do you get the inspiration? Because it's very non-conventional of a topic, right? It's very unconventional sort of situation. So like what was your inspiration?
Well, I was telling my producer Sham, after our first film Kathanadi was released in the theaters in Assam, and it was a rainy night, we were sitting in the car smoking a cigarette. And I was telling him like, this is not going to work, man. Horror doesn't work in the theaters. Yeah, let's do a love story. So I just told him this story I was developing in my head for a long time. But two lovers who cannot physically touch. So how else? So they find another way of touching each other. So and he just totally loved the idea, and he asked me to develop it further, and that's how we started off this.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Please come over, please.
सबसे पहले तो स्थानीय भाषा में इतनी अच्छी फिल्में बनाने के लिए आपका धन्यवाद। मेरा प्रश्न ये है कि भोजन, प्रेम और नरभक्षण, ये तीनों को मिला के एक फिल्म बनाना, एक कथानक गढ़ने का एक विचार जो रहा होगा, वो कैसे आया, कहाँ से आया? एक लाइन में अगर उस विचार को हम बता सकें
तो जैसे मैं अभी कह रहा था कि मुझे एक ऐसी फिल्म बनानी थी, एक ऐसी लव स्टोरी बनानी थी जिसमें दो लवर्स जो हैं वो एक दूसरे को छूते ही नहीं है फिजिकली. एंड इफ यू थिंक ऑफ एनी रोमांस, एनीथिंग दैट इज रोमांटिक, थोड़ा टच तो उसमें इन्वॉल्व होता ही है. बट जिस तरह से हमारा सोसाइटी स्ट्रक्चर किया गया है, हम लोग सब कंजर्वेटिव सोसाइटी में रहते हैं. इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल टू लव हु यू वांट. सोसाइटी टेल्स यू हु यू कैन एंड हु यू कैन नॉट लव. सो वंस यू ट्रांसग्रेस, यू हैव टू डू इट इन सच ए वे कि लोग उससे मतलब एक टैबू से बचने के लिए आप दूसरी टैबू को कैसे फंस जाते हैं. यही ये कहानी, यही उन विचारों के साथ हुई है. तो यही कहानी मैं कहना चाह रहा था.
थैंक यू, धन्यवाद.
हेलो सर.
Hello.
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि फिल्म के दौरान मतलब कोई ऐसा पॉइंट आया वेयर यू थॉट कि दिस इज गोइंग वे टू फार इन टर्म्स ऑफ लाइक शोइंग द ईटिंग ऑफ फ्लैश एंड ऑल, या फिर कोई ऐसा पॉइंट जहाँ पे होने के बाद भी यू थॉट कि चलो अब ये हो तो गया बट इट माइट बी अनकन्वेंशनल और अनएक्सेप्टेबल फॉर पीपल?
Actually, मुझे तो yeah, you're right. This is a very sensitive topic. If not handled well, it could have gone very badly for us. Considering जिस दिशा में हम जा रहे हैं as a country, you must have noticed that हमने कहीं भी beef का mention नहीं किया है. Although ideally, if you want to break a taboo as a Brahmin person, you would because the character was Brahmin, you would want to have beef, and obviously I didn't want to get into trouble. क्योंकि क्या है ना कि ये फिल्म उस चीजों के बारे में है ही नहीं. ये this film is not about eating meat or different kinds of meat. This film is about love. So मुझे लगा कि अगर मैं ज़्यादा controversial चीजें डाल दूंगा, for that matter, there's not even any mention of pork, because I don't want people to get distracted by all that politics, food politics. This is a story, and I just wanted you people to feel sorry for इनके साथ जो हुआ, उनके लिए बस बुरा लगना है लोगों को, यही मैंने सोच के बनाया था.
तो मतलब ये जो प्रोसेस था ये पहले से ही था या मतलब फिल्म के दौरान चलते चलते में हुआ, या कोई कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऐसा हुआ जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ व्हिच यू केम टू दिस?
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं था. हमको शुरू से पता था कि मुझे तो एक्चुअली पता था कि मैं जो कहानी कह रहा हूँ वो लव स्टोरी है. ये कोई पॉलिटिकल कमेंट्री ना ही लोगों को शॉक करने का या कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल चीजें बनाने का कोई अटेम्प्ट है. सो आई वाज वेरी क्लियर अबाउट इट, एंड आई एम अ बिग बिलीवर इन, आप जितना कम दिखाते हो ना उतना ही इफेक्टिव आपका जो हॉरर है वो निकल के आता है, क्योंकि you just have to suggest it on screen and people's imaginations build the rest of the picture. And I think that is a very more effective way of showing things, especially taboo things on screen, rather than graphically showing them and leaving nothing to the imagination. तो ये इस तरह का सोच था हमारा. तो ऐसे ही हमने किया. ऐसा कुछ था नहीं कि हम कुछ और बनाना चाह रहे थे लेकिन डर के मारे हमने कुछ और बना दिया, ऐसा कुछ था
नहीं. मतलब मुझे वही था कि जस्ट मुझे एक प्री प्रोडक्शन का जो मतलब थॉट प्रोसेस होता है तो वही जानना था. So basically that gave up all the answers.
Like the person who was killed in the end was not supposed to be a rickshaw, it was supposed to be somebody else. So by the 8th draft, shooting draft, we came to a conclusion that जो रिक्शा वाले को हमने पहले दिखाया था उसी को मार देते. तो एक्टर की तो लॉटरी लग गई. वो बोलता है थैंक यू सर.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Joy sir. Kenugabhal. Yeah, basically I'm from Assam. I love the concept of okay, sir. So Chetia, just I'm taking a little bit of talk with our language. Sir, Jedia মই salu apnar movie to. Hedina moi goisu ki amar Ohomor rashtriyo to kiba eta notun concept pale. So basically the movie was awesome. I saw with my family entire, and my family was saying, if you want, because I'm a budding filmmaker, if you want to make a movie for your state, please learn from him. Please learn from this Bhaskar sir. Sir, it's a simple question. I'm not stretching it a lot. When you're shooting in Guwahati at the time of the winters, what are the consequences you feel at the time? Because you know the people of Assam, like when you start a movie about it and the concept things and all, they will get little bit of shyness. Yeah, how you will cooperate the thing, how you will shoot the thing. So please tell about the thing, just in a simple.
You mean, are you asking me how we shot the film in Guwahati?
Yeah.
It was very difficult. It's difficult to shoot a sing-sound film in any Indian city, as you know. Our cities are just too noisy, and I don't know why. I think only a filmmaker knows the pain of honking. Which just keeps getting interrupted. Your shots, retake पे retake, actor बढ़िया shot दे रहा है, नहीं हो पा रहा है, sound वाला cut बोल रहा है. The biggest challenge in shooting in an urban location in India is obviously because we are small filmmakers. We don't have huge budgets. Where we have, in Bollywood they carry people like sound bouncers. तो ये बाउंसर ही होते हैं जो पार्टी में आते हैं, लेकिन वो साउंड के लिए आते हैं, तो वो दूर दूर तक जाते हैं और लोगों को फिर दम देके चुप कराते हैं. तो ये सब हमारे पास, we didn't have all these things, so we just had to make do with this. And like I said, we're a small production, so if we had a schedule of 21 days, we had to film 21 days, which meant dropping some scenes. And since I was the writer also of the film, थोड़ा उससे help हुआ कि मैं ही writer था, मैं ही director था, तो I could tell my production team that अगर ये scene drop करते हैं तो वो effective होने वाला है story. That is why I always tell directors that at least write one draft of your film, so that you know क्या हो रहा है. तो अगर कुछ करना हो on the spot, omit करना है, या day scene to night करना है, तो फिर things should not shift later on in the story. So these little problems are there in every film. Nothing great. It's a lovely shooting in Bhaskar. I discovered the place again.
The place, exactly. So there are a lot of things about the place and taking throughout the scenery, the villages of the Assam, the beauty that we show. That's a great thing I love about it. So thank you. Let's do something so different now. We are always ready for something crazy as we also inspired from.
That's the attempt to keep doing films from the Northeast. Joy.
Hello, Bhaskar ji.
Hello.
Okay, so I'm still processing everything. I've seen, this is the very first time I've seen something of this sort. So I wouldn't be able to comment on it right now, but my question is, what was the best memory you have with this movie? As in, the best part that you liked shooting?
Oh, okay. I quite liked, shooting that little sequence where the protagonist Neetali sort of, flies away in ecstasy when she eats the meat. So actually, it was actually an error. It was not supposed to be like that. I wanted the camera to just move across her face. तो उन्होंने क्या किया था, DOP ने और मेरे assistant directors ने, they thought that we could move the entire person. So it was a very elaborate rig they created with two planes and a bamboo pole between, so that both planes move together. एक में कैरेक्टर बैठा होगा, खड़ा होगा, एक खड़ी होगी और एक में कैमरामैन होगा. तो मुझे देख के इतना मजा आया ना, मुझे चलो ऐसे ही कर देते हैं. But actually it's not supposed to be like that. I just got carried away, and this also happens when you're filming and you have a good crew, who are coming up with ideas. But anyway, people like it. Some people think it's a little Bollywood style, but I didn't want to do it like that. Maybe that's why people thought that. So I enjoyed shooting that in particular. वो फुटबॉल वाले सीन में मैं गिर गया था, मेरा हाथ टूट गया था. That will always be there. So because it was not diagnosed as a fracture, so now my left hand is permanently bent. But so yeah, these are like interesting memories of Aamis.
All right, thank you.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
So my question is that
really sorry.
how did you prepare the actors to be involved in that character, and what were the problems? Because this is really unconventional for an actor to get into this kind of role. So was it difficult for them? Was it difficult for you?
It was. It would have been difficult if I had chosen to go with established actors, because they come with a lot of baggage of their previous experiences in film, and the template for this film was very Romeo and Juliet. So ऐसी कोई भी love story आप उठा ले last 30-40 years में, where there's a tragic love story. Normally you cast people who are unknown, starting from, if you look at when I was a kid, Qiyamah se Qiyamah tak, and even further back, around actually after that, when Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet also came out, DiCaprio, nobody knew him then. So the impulse is to go with unknown faces, because it's important for audiences to connect with the character, not so much the actor. So we were looking for fresh faces, and we got really, really lucky with Lima and Arghadeep, because they were already halfway there. Suman, the boy's character was supposed to be a little bit more roguish, what we say in Bombay, Shana. But this boy who came after auditions was so gentle and so zen-like that we thought isko fayda nahi hai, isko Shana banane ka, isko aise rehne do. And what he did was then he just made the whole thing even more creepy and evil. not evil exactly, but it just looked very weird, because he was such a nice, gentle boy whom he wanted to take to your mother. और ये सब करता है. So the झटका जो है ना बहुत जोर से लगता है. So they were already there. We did have a 10-day workshop with the actors. Seema Biswas man, whom you must be knowing from NSD, she had come and trained them over 10 days because these were all non-actors, and that also really helped, I think, in preparing them for the film.
Sure. Thank you.
We are left with 5 minutes, so one last quick question, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hello, Bhaskar. Hi. So my question is more regarding towards the characterization of these two people, both the actors. So my question is कि जैसे आपने शुरू से इनको ऐसा establish किया जो character को grow किया है in a romantic setup and how they are doing things for each other, and Sumon being the guy who was totally in love with her, and for her it was all about the lust for meat and everything. But in the end, first, like, I did not know it will be going in this way that they'll come together. So it was going more towards the thoda dysfunctional kind of a connection between the two. But at the end, how did you like manage to place this in a very empathetic setup? Ki, in the middle of the story, I was more thinking towards ki, yaar, ye kya ho raha hai? Like, why is it being so gory and violent and all? But the end, I was left feeling empathetic for the both of them in the last scene, and I did not like how they were being treated and everything in the last. And like, how did you manage to do that?
Yeah, the last scene is very, very interesting. You say that. A lot of people have said the same thing to me. It is because the idea for this last scene, stating the last scene, came from what we see on news every day, especially vernacular news. वो crime दिखाते हैं, criminal दिखाते हैं, पर backstory दिखाते नहीं हैं. So my take on life is that everybody of us, each of us, is capable of committing a crime. It's just that the circumstances have to be there. So I always say, judge the sin, but don't judge the sinner. So because you and me can also commit the same sin. ऐसा नहीं कि अरे हम तो कभी करेंगे, पता है भाई, आपको नहीं पता है, what you are capable of doing, will you do it? So that was the idea to sort of the media, as in the scene, you can clearly see the media is going to judge them very harshly. उसपे वो episodes दिख लेंगे, अलाना फलाना, ये ऐसी थी वैसी थी, some backstory about her will come out, like they do it in TV. But as an audience, we've seen where they started. So it is very difficult for us to judge them the way the media is judging them. So I thought that also helps in the process of empathizing with your characters. And because it was a film about restraining from physical touch, एक बार तो touch करवाना था ना, so why not in the end? So I was very clear कि उनको एक बार तो छूना पड़ेगा उनको एक दूसरे को, but last में ही बढ़िया लगेगा. I thought that is when the film should end.
God man, thank you.
No problem.
I hope it's cool.
क्या मॉनिटर ऊपर लगा हुआ है क्या? सब लोग ऊपर देखते रहते हैं.
Yeah, but there is
a big screen at the.
First of all, Bhaskar, congratulations for one of the amazing attempt that you have made, and putting up such an out of the box theme and concept into the picture. And my question is very simple. And there was एक scene था movie में जहाँ पे वो पेड़ के ऊपर से कीड़ा चल के जाता है. एक वो मुझे जानना था कि why that scene was there. And the second thing, it from my point of view, it's more looks like a जैसे love, temptation और ये सारी चीजें build होती हैं, वैसे ही food भी build होता है. जैसे एक बार आप चाय पीना शुरू कर दो तो आप छोड़ नहीं पाते हो. So वैसे ही सारी मीट के साथ भी है. जिस टाइप का मीट आपको खाना पसंद होता है, वो मीट धीरे धीरे करके आपकी आदत बन जाता है और उससे फिर आप बाहर नहीं निकल पाते. So it seems more like that love for food and everything. But when it become addiction, वो एक एंगल मुझे जानना था आपसे.
Well, एंगल तो यही है ताकि कि I just नॉर्मली हम क्या देखते हैं, हम ऐसी इस तरह की स्टोरीज में हम क्या देखते हैं, जैसे देवदास में देख लो आप, उसको अनरिक्विटेड लव हुआ तो वो दारू पीने लगा. Some people shoot heroin or cocaine into it. So I was just replacing all those familiar and stereotypical tropes with something unconventional, which is food. So you can get hooked to food also. So it is like a leap of logic to think that 3 बार में थोड़ा चक्के कैसे आदमी रिप हो सकता है. So I used to tell my team that, yeah, think of it like cocaine. आप पहले 2 ग्राम दोगे, फिर आपको 5 ग्राम दोगे, 6 ग्राम दोगे, then you're hooked to it. So it's so, you know, it's treat it like addiction. Don't treat it like meat or food. You know, एक substance है जिसकी वो addict हो गई in order to save herself from the लोग क्या कहेंगे syndrome. So that was the idea behind using meat as the trigger for the whole story.
And वो कीड़े वाला scene जो था.
कीड़े वाला scene, हाँ कीड़े वाला scene ऐसा कुछ था. They were just talking about you know this insect which smells a lot. उसको गॉन्डी पुक बोलते हैं, मतलब गॉन्ड मतलब बदबू करना है. तो ऐसा एक कीड़ा होता है जिसके बारे में डिस्कशन हो रहा होता है गाड़ी में. तो जस्ट टू क्लोज दैट डिस्कशन, क्लोज दैट सीन, आई थॉट चलो एक डाल देते हैं यार, कीड़ा डाल देते हैं. इट्स नॉट द सेम कीड़ा, इट्स अ डिफरेंट कीड़ा, बट यू नो बिकॉज हमको वो मिल नहीं रहा था, बिकॉज इट वाज नॉट, वो मॉनसून में निकलता है वो जो बदबू करता है. तो हमने सोचा कोई भी उठा के ले आओ यार, सीन तो बिठाते हैं, वी माइट रिमूव इट इन द एडिट विदाउट. But editor also loved it, so she put it in. So that's how it is.
Great. Yeah.
Just हमने छोड़ दिया safely, you know, we didn't kill it.
Yeah, I think.
We didn't eat it.
All right, so it's 7 o'clock.
Ajay.
Yeah. Vishwadhar, please close. Yeah. So,
do you have a question, Ajay, before I close it?
I just want to say, Bhaskar, I saw the film. I also went and watched some of your interviews, and your story of how you, like your story, your like thing, the way you make your film. I think it's one of the most inspiring ways, like it kind of liberates as a young filmmaker. Ki, haan yaar, chalo, like just start making, man. Like, so I picked that up from you and your film. So a lot of thanks for that, and. Yeah, and I'm thanks to Vishwadhar also, who kind of told me like you got to watch it, and Harshal to have organized it. So to close it, over to you, Vishwadhar.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly tell you how I watched this. So I was in Mummy. I had to watch another film, and Aamis was not in my radar, to be very honest. And I was just like, okay, let's go for it. So I went to watch Aamis cold turkey. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what is it about. कौन सी लैंग्वेज में है, क्या है, कुछ नहीं, but I was just, I like watching movies, so I was just went for it. And the first half of the movie is so nicely built. It's such a it's like a dysfunctional relationship, like a taboo relationship, and it's like it's very nicely done. And after the first half, it switches, and I was like, oh my god, what's happening over here? And I was so pumped, I was so excited, I enjoyed that whole screening so much because I didn't expect it. मतलब कुछ भी मेरा expectation नहीं था. So it was amazing. And then also the culture part, like the way you showed culture. Like I have not been to Assam, but now I know कि Assam. मतलब my knowledge of Assam is through your movie. So I think, and that's I mean, for a lot of people, that's a huge thing. So first of all, like really congratulations to you. I have one and two questions actually. Both your films went to both your films.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem. I was saying both your films premiered at international film festivals. One of your first film also bagged the National Film Festival. For your second film, Anurag Kashyap came as a presenter, helped you out in marketing and releasing it in India. Does it make it easier for independent filmmakers to like make movies in India, like of their own choice? Because making good cinema in your own language, native language, is also a very it's a riskier task.
It's the thing is, unfortunately, with the advent of YouTube, short form videos are the rage, or because people are not watching independent cinema in theaters. So it's either you make it for festivals or you make it for OTT platforms, and it is really, really unfortunate because people are being deprived of a wonderful source of culture and entertainment. So as an independent filmmaker today, your choices are to keep your budgets low so that you can first of all get the funds to make it, and then to recover it, hope that your story works in an OTT platform or it gets some festival buzz and is picked up by somebody somewhere. So those days are gone when we used to think that we'll make a film for 50 lakhs, release it in theaters, and we'll make crores. ऐसा होता था. But up to, because of this whole consolidation business, where studios and exhibitors and distributors have sort of formed cliques where they only release major films. They don't give you right good timings, and they put your film in strange halls where nobody goes to. So it's a losing cause. For theatrical release, you have to go big, which you will. If you make two successful films, you will get that opportunity also. Or you may not take that opportunity like I have. I've decided I don't want to be a part of that commercialization. Because the whole idea of stuffing your face with popcorn while watching a film doesn't appeal to me anymore.
We have banned popcorn in RFS, like no sound allowed inside.
Because a lot of people work very hard on a film and who are just completely distracted with something else. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. But ऐसा ही हो रहा है. So I think if you really love cinema and you want to make cinema with passion, make it for people who can feel that passion. Mainstream audiences unfortunately do not feel that passion anymore. They just go to see I don't know. It's very depressing right now. But anyway, long live OTT platforms. At least they're giving us opportunities to continue to make films like this.
I also know that you worked in Bollywood for some years after your graduation and your master's in films and television. How did that from there to come back to your hometown and then make movies on your own? How depressing tha kya?
I actually got disillusioned in Bombay because I went there and if there is one person in Bombay who is lower in the rank than the actor, is the writer. कोई इज्जत नहीं writer की वहाँ. Actor की तो खैर नहीं है, but writer की फिर बुरी हालत है. They treat you like a clerk. कि वो रात को 2 बजे फोन कर देंगे यार, if you're writing a serial. This time होते थे serial. Now they are called series, but the same people are making it. So that is why the quality of the series is also going down. They just wake you up at 2 in the morning and say, भाई वो actor ना वो नहीं आ पाएगा कल, just scene change कर दो. So ये इस तरह के this kind of thing was very disillusioning. Then I worked on a big Bollywood film also. I experienced the same thing. अगर हीरो ये लाइन बोल रहा है तो विलेन को उसके नीचे का लाइन बोलना पड़ेगा ना. आपने विलेन को इतना बड़ा डायलॉग दे दिया, मतलब बस कैरेक्टर कुछ नहीं. Hero villain, they have this whole weird concept about cinema which I was not prepared to sort of compromise with. So I decided to just get out of there before I become just another guy in Bombay working.
Okay, now you yourself have said horror 3-4 times in your interview right now, and I know that you are a big horror fan, and so am I. So just a quick 3 recommendations of horror, like who are your favorite horror directors, or what is the recent horror cinema that you have seen which is really good?
I've seen a few recently, but I'm not I can't off the top of my head remember anything that I can recommend to you right now. I can recommend older films, which
that
is difficult to find. There is one film called Of Unknown Origin, which is a 80s film about a man's battle with a house rat. उसके घर में चूहा आ जाता है, तो बीवी बोलती है कि मैं he is going out for a weekend and she's like, when I come back this rat should be gone, and his fight with the rat is so epic that he loses his job, his house is destroyed, and वो पागल हो जाता है बंदा. So that's the kind of horror also which works. There was no ghost in it. It was just chooha, and it was a very frightening film. So films like this I kind of really engage with. I like watching. Otherwise zombie films and all तो मैं देखते रहता हूँ. Without कोई popcorn नहीं खाता.
Thank you so much, Bhaskar. I think that's it from my side. Thank you so much for making this movie. Thank you so much for allowing us to screen it and for your time. Hopefully, we'll see more from you. And next time, maybe we'll call you in Raipur personally and we'll go to Chestam Chowk.
I'm just looking for a chance to come to Raipur. It's been so many years since I've been there. So thank you for screening that film, guys, and hope to see you soon in person, maybe later.
For sure. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.